There are two phrases, two little, guess you might say, nuggets of wisdom that often sort of wander into my life. And I thought about them this week because of our gospel from Matthew and what Jesus has to say. The first little nugget is let go and let God. Now, for the longest time, I thought that was sort of a little flimsy thing to say, that when I didn't know what else to say to a person, or when I couldn't solve the problem or explain what they had asked me in some human term, that I would simply just sort of go to, well, let go and let God. But I think the longer that I've lived, the more I've come to realize that it is a valuable way to enter into and to live our life. The second little nugget that I encountered from one of my Passionist brothers after he had come home from a long week of meetings with some other Passionists, he said, you know, sometimes it's tough being the smartest person in the room. Now, he wasn't referring to himself, but he had been with a group of people, and there was at least one or two people in that meeting that sort of became very frustrated because people weren't responding to their answers and their way of looking at things and the solutions that they were presenting, and they got more frustrated as the week went on. And I have to say, I've probably been in their place many, many times. But if you notice in the gospel today, Jesus says, you know, God doesn't always reveal everything to the wise and the learned. That often it's to the littlest of children, to the little ones. And Jesus also asks us during the gospel to share with him our burdens, our yokes, our struggles. You know, life day in and day out often isn't fixable. It often can't be put into one way of doing things. It can't always be fixed. We're often faced with a lot of struggles, a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems, a lot of yokes, a lot of burdens. And what Jesus is saying is, turn it over. Share it with me. Let's do it together. Having someone else carry our struggles with us often makes them feel just a little bit lighter, a little bit less of a struggle or a burden. But doing it Jesus' way isn't always easy because God doesn't fix things the way we want him to. Doesn't always follow our ideas or our ways of seeing things. And so we've got to turn it over. We've got to let go and to let God. And so as we continue our journey through this summer, hopefully relaxing, hopefully finding some refreshment, that we won't be shy or we won't see it as giving in or doing something wrong by letting go and letting God walk with us.